Hello everybody, this is Michelle Fox and welcome back to The Simple Quilter. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little pincushions made from little jelly jars. A subscriber recently asked me if I could show how to make these, and I'm just going to show you how I've made this one. Now the neat thing about these is they're quick and easy to make. You probably have the supplies that you need already in your house, so you probably won't have to go get anything. And you can use these to store all kinds of things. I have some little clips in these. You can put old buttons, old spools of thread, needles. You can put your sewing machine needles in here. The options are endless. So these do make a cute little pincushion. So let's get started. Okay, so let's go over some of the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need some fiber fill. You're not going to need much, so check around your quilt room to see if you have any on hand. You're going to need at least a 5-inch square of fabric, and I just pulled this out of my blue scrap bin. I love this print. This is a super cute little print, so I decided to use that. You're going to need a jelly jar with a lid. And it's important to have the ring and the lid. So you're going to need one of those. And again, I bet if you look in your pantry or around in your glass cupboard or somewhere in your kitchen, you're likely to find that you have this. Okay, you're going to need a little piece of sturdy cardboard, and I just used the cardboard that comes on the back of your little charm packs. It's just the perfect size. Now, a piece of felt is optional. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this project, so you can you might want to use the felt. Some ribbon is optional to just help decorate it up a little bit more. Now I used just embroidery floss for the little bit of sewing we have to do. You can use thread, but I really wanted it to be sturdy, so I'm using embroidery floss, and this is a little chenille needle. You're going to need scissors. Now I have craft scissors and fabric scissors, and a hot glue gun. Okay, so let's get started here. Let me show you how this is done. The first thing you're going to do is take your lid and draw a little circle right around the edge on your cardboard. And then you're simply going to cut this out. Now when you cut this out, you're going to want to go just a little ways inside the line. You don't want it to be too small, but you do want it to be just a little bit smaller. You want it to be just a little bit smaller than the actual little lid you use to trace it with. Okay? So there's that. And I did use my craft scissors for that. Now, you're going to need at least a 5-inch piece of fabric, and the reason for that is this needs to be at least an inch bigger all the way around. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. You could draw an inch, measure an inch, and draw a circle, but it's just quicker and easier just to take a charm square and just trim off these, round off these corners. It doesn't have to be perfect. This project does not require precision in sewing or cutting. Okay. All right. Then you're just going to take your sewing thread or floss, whichever, and you're just going to start sewing a line of thread on here just to get a little, to gather this up. So you're just going to make a little gathering stitch. These can be small stitches, they can be big, however you want to make them. I'm making mine a little bit big. And it doesn't take very long to do this. You're just going to keep going all the way around there. Okay, I'm almost to the end. Just keep just a few more little stitches. Okay. Just going to gather that up a little bit. Kind of makes a little purse or a little pocket. And you're going to get some of your fiber fill, how much ever you want to, you know, whatever thickness you want to make your little lid. You can see now this lid is really poofy. I like this better than a shallow lid like that. Okay, and you're just gonna put this in there. Now, the more you put in, the more difficult it is to manage this. So I like mine really full, so I'm gonna hook a little bit more down in there. Try to pack it in a little bit tighter. Now, oh shoot, I forgot one step. Before you get started, I've discovered that if you'll make a little loose, one little loose tie, just a loose one right there, that'll help you a little bit when you start to tighten this up, because it really does get a little hard to manage. Let's see if I can fit all this in there. I may have to take some out. Pack it down in there nice and tight. You almost need another set of hands. If Wes was here, I would ask him to help me. So if somebody's there, you might ask them to kind of help you with this part. This is a little bit cumbersome. And the only reason it's really cumbersome is because I want my top really fluffy. If you don't want it very fluffy, then you don't have to worry so much about having difficulty doing this. Okay. Okay. Then you're going to loosen it a little bit and you're going to insert that piece of cardboard that you cut out. Now I'm trying to keep the fiber fill on the other side of this cardboard. I don't want it up around the edge. I'm just going to pull that tight and tie that off. Okay. again so it'll hold good. Okay, then you're just going to take your ring and your lid, and you're just going to poke this up through there. Now you do need to be a little bit careful with this. This isn't quite, this can be a little tricky getting this in there just like you want it. You really have to tug and pull and try to get that piece really worked in there tight. Okay, then you're going to take some hot glue. I'm not going to do it here right now, but you're going to take some hot glue and put it in there. Then that's going to go right onto your jar, just like that. Now, I will be honest with you. When you add the lid here, that does make it hard to get on here. I've really struggled with that. So what you can do is you can take your lid and just trace a circle on a piece of felt. Like this. Cut it out. Okay, so then you put this down in there. Glue that on. And then put your lid on. That makes it a little bit easier to manage that lid when you add the ring, when you add this lid on the back to close up to make it a nice finish. It really makes it difficult to get the lid back on. Now, what you can also do is you can just take your ring. If you have difficulty using your hands and screwing lids on, this may be the solution for you for making this project. Once you have your little piece here, you can just put the lid on your jar and then just hot glue the piece on top. This was a lot easier to do. And either way you can add a cute little ribbon as a nice little finishing touch. So either way you decide to do it makes a super cute little pincushion. And again, you can add all kinds of things. You could hot glue a row of buttons around there. You can do ribbons. You can store whatever you want on the inside. But they are quick and easy to make. And again, if you have difficulty screwing lids on jars and all, I would recommend the one where you just glue it on top, because it's just a lot easier to manage the lid then. So anyway, there are those. Now, if you've made these before, please let me know in the comments before. There's lots of different varieties or variations out on how to make these little jars. These have been out for a while, but I did want to respond to my viewers' request to show how to make those. So don't forget to tell me about yours if you've made one in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share with a friend. And as always, leave a comment. I love to get the comments and I try to respond to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.